Welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I am Connor Williams and we're back with another one of our 24/7 news report videos. We're trying to get them out a little bit more regularly now. We're boosting them with a bit of stats, a bit of statistics about players, because not every player we mention I know, and not every player we mention you'll necessarily know. So it's nice to have some stats to sort of back it up, give you a little bit of an insight. It's not the full story, obviously. Players need the eye test as well as the stats test, but gives you a little bit of an inkling on what they're like. But yeah, as we get closer to January, December, in less than a month, you know, the rumour mill starts spreading up a bit. So we just give you a nice little roundup of all the paper talk, so you don't have to go out and read every paper. So yeah, as always, if you've watched the channel by now, you know that we start with our headline news. Our headline news is that Atletico Madrid have joined the race for Alexis Sanchez with Everton. Everton may face extra competition for the signing of Alexis Sanchez, according to reports. It's claimed by Spanish media outlet La Taquera that Atletico Madrid have joined the Blues in the race for the Inter Milan forward. The report goes on to say that Atletico boss Diego Simeone is an admirer of Sanchez, who has also attracted interest from Everton in the last couple of weeks. I have got his stats for you right now that I'll read out. Last season he appeared in 30, started 12 games. He got 7 goals, 5 assists. It's not bad. He had an expected goals of 6.42, so he's performing slightly better in expected goals. In his expected goals, he played 1,147 minutes, so he got quite a few minutes last year. All 7 of his goals came from inside the box, 1 header, 1 left foot, 5 of his right. He got 5 assists, 33 key passes, 38 chances completed. This season, he's not appeared as much. He's appeared in 7 games. Started 1 game, got 174 minutes, so that's just less than 2 full games of game time. He has got 0 goals, 1 assist, 6 key passes and 7 chances created. Obviously not the greatest this season, but like I said, he has only had like the equivalent of less than the equivalent of 2 full football matches in those 7 appearances, which is a bit mad. But he's obviously making an impact still. He got an assist. He's not who I would want, I'm going to be honest. I think he's the wrong age. But obviously, he's a good utility player. My worry is that he'd be on a big contract or a 3-year contract. My biggest issue with that is I think that's why we're in the mess with financial fair play. We don't make any net profit. We make losses every year because we buy players in the twilight years. No one's going to buy them off us. It's basically like they'll leave on a free and go somewhere like Qatar or Saudi Arabian League, or somewhere a bit like a James Rodriguez in an extent, or a couple of others, which is okay if the quality's there, but I don't know if Alexis Sanchez has got that quality anymore, to be completely honest with you. Obviously if Diego Simeone's after him, he must have a little bit more about him than I'm giving him credit for, because Diego Simeone is a great manager, and ultimately I think that's where he'd probably go if his choices was. He could play for Atletico Madrid under Diego Simeone. They're in the Champions League every year. They won La Liga last year. They're in the race this year. It would be more of a chance to win things in his career than with us. And especially when he's not got much of a career left. If he was a young 21-year-old, I'd say, come to us. You're 21. You've got, 10 years of your life left as a footballer. You never know what could happen in 10 years. But realistically, Sanchez has got 3 years left. I honestly can't see it. Maybe a League Cup or an FA Cup, but I can't see us winning, leagues or the Champions Leagues in 3 years. To be completely honest, and I don't mean to upset anyone. I've just been a bit realistic there, as I think many of you will be sat there thinking, yeah, no, same. So I don't think he'll come to us, but it's interesting to watch. Speaking of wingers, though, we have got the news that Everton target Lorenzo Insigne's agent has spoken about his client's future options. Reports in recent months have linked the Napoli forward with a move to Goodison Park. Insigne's deal, his current one, is due up next summer. And it continues to swirl on whether he's going to sign and renew his contract or he's going to leave. The 30-year-old's agent, Vincenzo Piscane, has said that Napoli will need to improve their offer. He told Inside Football, I've read a lot of nonsense about what we're demanding with the new contract. Napoli have offered almost half of what he currently earns. And of course we're negotiating calmly. Everyone's playing the game, but the club must take a step forward now. I have got Insigne's stats. We'll go through them, then I'll give you my thoughts on Insigne. Last season, he appeared in 35, started 33 of them, 19 goals, 7 assists. His XG was 15.93, so he's performing better than XG. He played an astonishing 2,861 minutes, so plenty of game time. He got 12 goals inside the box, 7 from outside, 2 with his left foot, 17 with his right. No heading, but the lad is like 5'5", so it's going to be very hard for him to head the ball. In all honesty, he got 7 assists, 63 key passes, and 70 chances created. He's much more your goal-scoring winger. He cuts inside, finesses it into the box, a bit like we see with Mo Salah, really. And the Premier League defenders still haven't figured out a way to defend that, so he'd probably tear the Premier League up a little bit, in all honesty. He's quick, he's small, he's a bit nimble. This season he's appeared in 11, he started 11, 4 goals, 3 assists. His XG is 8.61, so he's performing slightly below that. 828 minutes played, 4 goals from inside the box, all with his right foot, all penalties. 3 assists, 27 chances created from 30 key passes. Obviously, you know my thoughts on players at 30 and above. I mean, on some occasions, I could probably swerve that. Obviously, if you said to me right now, would you take Lionel Messi at Everton? I'm not going to say no, he's 30 odd. I'm not going to have him. Obviously, I'd take him. You'd have to be really good. If you're a really good player, you know, Ronaldo. If you said, would you have Ronaldo at Everton? I'm not going to say no, he's 35. Because he's a very, very good forward. Insigne might be borderline on that type of category of, I can be persuaded because he's a fantastic footballer, and he is. I'm not going to condescend you and tell you who Insigne is, because you probably know that by now already. And he's a phenomenal player. His stats are great. The way he plays, he's had the eye test. The way he plays is fantastic. He's very quick. He draws a lot of fouls. I think the Premier League is a bit physical and he'd struggle a little bit, but he'd probably gain a lot of fouls due to that struggling and the physicality. I just think he'd have a lot of fun in the Premier League. Whether we could get this done or not, I don't know. Obviously, his agent wants more money from Napoli. His agent might see us coming, and obviously financial fair play. Even if we got him on a free, we'd still be paying big wages out. But we'd have to see about this. But I mean, from a playing point of view, fantastic player. Would love him. Would have loved him a couple of years ago when he was a little bit younger. But you know, wouldn't we all prefer players when they were a bit younger? But you know, he's a fantastic player, and we'll have to wait and see what's happened. We have got more winger news now, though, and Everton have had a price set on Ikone. Everton can expect to pay in the region of €25 million, so that's like £21.4 million, if they wish to sign Lille winger Jonathan Ikone. I went through Ikone's stats the other day, so if you want to check out a video about his stats and that, go check the other video out on the channel. He's a very good player, another one I really like. He's 23 years old, and for Harhez is saying that is what would be expected. He's also made it very clear he doesn't want to sign another contract with Lille, so he's definitely on his way out. I'd really like Ikone at Everton. I'd really like Bamba as well, and I said in the video the other day I would take 5 players from there in a heartbeat. I'd just raid Lille, in all honesty. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, if we can afford it, that's a great price to get. But obviously, financial fair play, can we afford it? I don't think we've got that type of wiggle room, in all honesty. Next, we've got Sam Allardyce, names Everton star. He would sign for Newcastle. Sam Allardyce said that if he was Newcastle boss or if he was Eddie Howe, he said that he would go after Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He spoke to Sport Bible and said that this about Calvert-Lewin. He said, I think he's arguably the best header of the ball from crosses in the box, and that's a dying art. We don't see those type of goals on a regular basis anymore, and there's nothing that thrills the fans more than a quality cross and a centre forward coming in and headering it to the back of the net. It's a great sight to be seen. Me and Sam Allardyce, I don't think would get on an awful lot of things, but I do agree with him with that. It's a dying art. It's great to see, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin is one of the best in the Premier League at it. Under Allardyce, he'd probably suit the system. I don't think, if Allardyce was Newcastle manager, I don't think it would suit Eddie Howe. Unless he's changed his system. The fella's been away from top football for 2 years. He might have changed his systems and his beliefs and his philosophies. I just don't think that Eddie Howe is known for playing big centre forwards, crossing the ball in, getting as many headed goals as you can. So But I mean, if Sam Allardyce was the manager, then I would understand that, because Sam Allardyce would aim to get the ball in the box, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin is one of the best headers of the ball at the minute. Also, before we finish, we have some other news. Obviously, we've got that Anthony Gordon scored twice last night for England's under-21s, against the Czech Republic's under-21s, I believe, in the under-21s European qualification. Fantastic to see him get his goals. One of them was a tap-in that I saw, but really nice. Doesn't matter how they come, as long as they come. Really nice to see him get his goals. Lee Carsley clearly really rates him, and it's just fantastic to see. And hopefully he gets to start more for Everton, gets more game time for us, and hopefully gets a couple of goals for us. I'm excited to see what this lad can do. I think he really is a really promising forward for us, and someone we've just got to keep a little bit safe. Just he's got the potential, and it's fantastic to see. But like, we just got to protect him a little bit. He is still a young lad. He's got plenty of time to improve, and we've just got to take it like that. Yes, but he's a fantastic lad, and I'm sure he will fill his potential very well. We also have the news that Everton parted company with Director of Medical Services Danny Donashi, after a review of the club's injury record by Rafa Benitez. Obviously, Rafa's coming in and he's changing the big stuff. It's tough. I think Danny's been there for a while at the club, and it's never nice to see anyone lose their job. I know I sound a bit like Gary Neville when he talks about Solskjaer and every other pundit, but it's never nice to see someone lose their job, and I do have the sympathy for him for that. Our club injury record, though, is abysmal. Whether that's his fault or someone else, or or maybe just the system at Everton. But obviously, as he's Director of Medical Services, he was always going to be the first one that people pointed at. Obviously, Yerry Mina's put a social media post up about it, saying goodbye. He's went and flew out and saw Ancelotti as well at a Madrid game, which is it's quite nice that Ancelotti clearly had that type of connection with him. But yeah, I mean, it's sad to see. Hopefully, this would mean a move where our injury record will improve, though, because it can't be understated how poor our injury record is. But it's never nice to see someone lose their job. He put a lot of years into Everton, and for that we thank him and wish him all his best in his future endeavours. But that is all we've got time for today, guys. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not, and comment down below on anything I've discussed today. The Donachi leaving, departure, Anthony Gordon, how well do you think he's going to turn out? He's got a lot of promise. Ikone, Insigne, Sanchez, let me know your thoughts on all of that as well. Would you take any of them, either of them, none of them? Let me know down below. And don't forget, it is coming up to Christmas. If you want any Everton merchandise, shirts, tops, anything, buy them from the Everton Direct shop, link in the description down below. Costs you nothing extra, massively helps out the channel, and stay safe.